Leicester, England, Associated Press. He was King of England, but for centuries he lay without shroud or coffin in an unknown grave, and his name became a byword for villainy.
Michael Caine!
We're not talking about Michael Caine. This is about King Richard III. On Monday, scientists announced that they had rescued the remains of Richard III from anonymity, and the monarch's fans hope a revival of his reputation will soon follow.
I'm a huge R the Third fan.
Oh my God, I'm a member of his fan club. I run a forum about King Richard III. In a dramatically orchestrated news conference, a team of archaeologists, geneticists, genealogists, and other scientists from the University of Leicester announced that tests had proven what they scarcely dared to hope. A scarred and broken skeleton unearthed under a drab municipal parking lot was that of a 15th century king, the last English monarch to die in battle. Lead archaeologist Richard Buckley said that a battery of tests proved beyond reasonable doubt that the remains were the king's. So they found King Richard III under a car park.
and
he's Richard the fans. I'm so excited.
And King Richard III fans all over the globe began digging up their local municipality's car parks.
Team Richard. William Shakespeare indelibly depicted Richard as a hunchbacked usurper who left a trail of bodies on his way to the throne before dying in battle, shouting, "My kingdom for a horse!" That view was repeated by many historians, and Richard remains a villain in the popular imagination. But others say Richard's reputation was unjustly smeared by his Tudor successors. Philippa Langley of the Richard III Society. There's a real one.
One of those outraged, or I guess, over-enthusiastic fans.
Philippa Langley of the Richard III Society, which seeks to restore the late king's reputation and backed the search for his grave. He was injured 10 different ways, including being stabbed by a sword and a dagger in the buttocks. For centuries, Richard's story had been told by others, many of them hostile. She hopes a new surge of interest, along with evidence from the skeleton about how the king lived and died, and how he was mistreated after death by being stabbed in the buttocks.
Right.
Will help restore his reputation. This is her quote. "A wind of change is blowing, one that will seek out the truth about the real Richard III." Langley, who helped launch the search for the king, said she could scarcely believe her quest had paid off. "Everyone thought that I was mad," she said. "It's not the easiest pitch in the world to look for a king under a council car park."
What made them look there?
Okay. The location of... Good question, Kristen.
Thanks.
Last year, a team led by University of Leicester archaeologist Richard Buckley identified a possible location of the grave through map regression and analysis. It doesn't sound real.
No.
I'm sure it is.
Google mapped it.
Google mapped Richard III's bones. Ground penetrating radar was used to find the best places to start digging.
Are you a King Richard III fan?
How do you feel about King Richard III?
I haven't read it.
I'm going to finish the article because we're almost done.
Well, do we want to tell her the big news since she's such a big fan?
Guys, they found King Richard III under a car park. Archaeologist Mike Pitts, editor of the British Archaeology magazine, also said he found the evidence persuasive. "I don't think there is any question it is Richard III, said Pitts, who was not affiliated with the research team.
Just a big fan.
Huge Richard fan. He's part of the Richard III Society.
Yeah.
Which is a real thing. Soon the remains will be moved to an undisclosed secure location, because you don't want those Richard III fans, like, storming the corpse.
Yeah.
And next year, Richard will, at last, get a king's burial interred with pomp and ceremony in Leicester Cathedral. It is a day Langley of the Richard III Society has dreamed of seeing.
I want to know if Langley's the only member of this society.
We have searched for him. We have found him. It is now time to honor him. End of the article. I'm very excited. I don't know about you.
I'm pumped.
We're massive Richard heads. Rich Fest 2013.
Woo!